Alright, here goes another one. This is the thing that I'm going to be unboxing. You can see my epic package from the eBay on the left, and here it's just a regular package with some Egyptian hieroglyphs or something. And then one thing that I got inside from was the New York Times. And there you can see that it's Thursday, November 13th. 13th. I live in an apartment 13. That's the Halloween number. But anyway, you could read this kind of thing. I have never had this kind of thing. So now that I got this with the package, I feel like I'm some kind of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle. Because they live in New York, I think. But there was nothing else in the package, so I can't show the package because it has private info on it. But that was a funny thing. So let's just put this one here, and then I'm gonna have to try to adjust the camera so that you can actually see something. But this is the first package. So this video is about, I got the whole trio saletti. All three of these guys. So this is the first package. Ta-da! It's the Modo. We actually call him Moto in Finnish. And too bad that there's so much empty space here. I would like there to be, well, I can put the other figures to the side to see a little bit more, and there might not be enough lighting for anyway, but I'm gonna show the package a little bit, that there's an interesting thing here, that it says that not for children under age 14. Like 14 is not really a children. They're like teenagers. So basically these figures, these Nacelle figures, this says 2024. But these figures are basically not for kids. These are basically like these collectors deluxe kind of figures. Yeah, this looks exactly like the merchant sent me. So these figures are from the east coast of America, I think. They're from close by to Washington or something, but not Washington itself. So he even showed the pictures that there's like a, wear and tear here and stuff like that. So the pictures match exactly the thing. But then now a major animated reboot. I'm not sure if there's a reboot, but anyway, like these figures look exactly like the 1990s, early 90s cartoon. And now I actually got something here that I can show. I have a bunch of things here. So let's just go. Sorry for being so random again, but anyway, these are fairy type scissors from Japan. So let's just use the pink power again. And we're going to see that this box is indeed sealed. It has this like a sticker here. It's not teared at all, so you can see that it's not it's not opened. There's no wear and tear or something. So I'm going to try to get, yeah, so there's the sticker. Now this is gonna be the regular thing. Like I got this on the mail. It's absolutely crazy freezing out there because it's the Finnish winter. That was like, I think it was like -24 or like close to that. So these boxes are very different than the original. I think the original boxes back in the early 90s or so, they were not these like closable boxes. These kind of boxes are good for figures because you could basically just put them all back to the plastic and then just close them and sell them or something. But those garbage boxes where you just have to rip off the whole thing, then you can't basically have any kind of collector's box that you could stand on anything. These kind of boxes are really good though. So enough about that. So I'm gonna just pull it out. This is how you always open these goodies. Yeah. So So there's no background info like it looks kind of like well, there's nothing else in there. There's some kind of, it's like a separate thing, but nothing else. It's like some kind of, just has that same coloring on it. And then you got this typical thing that you got this extra layer. And there's a little bit of tape. So that tape also tells you that this is not opened. I think if I haven't, of course, checked. Let me see, do I need to have scissors? I think there might be tape on the both sides here. Sorry, I'm not showing the camera angle on the correct place again because anyway, I got these figures, these super duper figures, and then I'm gonna tell you a little bit of more about them now that I'm going to open this bad boy or good boy or whatever it is. So yeah, this looks really good. Instantly you can see this guy is basically my favorite biker mice. So let's see, is there some kind of thing holding him in there? Some kind of, no, there was nothing. So instantly you can see that he feels really heavy, and like I mean, they used to sell these kind of figures back in the 90s also, and I think the original figures were smaller. And this guy, let's see, yeah, the head feels really hard. Like the thing is that in these figures you can change the head, you can pop it out and change it. But in the original figures, the thing was that no, you couldn't change it. You could kind of like squish the head, and then these antennas. You can move these things, by the way, a little bit. But in the original things, the thing was that you could press the antennas down a little bit, and then there was like this kind of like a string inside, and you could push it in, and then the mask or the helmet was like a separate thing that you can pop on it or pop out of it. And then you could I think you could spin it around, but I don't think you could do like this kind of movement on the original figure. Like you couldn't put it up and down and like this. And of course there was no separate heads, of course, because on the original figures you could not remove the head. It was like this different, really different design. And I can remember that in the original there was a thing like this. This is like some kind of like a cannon that shoots something, but let me see, is there actually a function to shoot anything? Like, is it I think it might be that it actually doesn't do anything. I have a memory that the original did have some kind of function that original might have had thing like that you can shoot this thing. But I remember that there was something like this in it, but I just can't remember what did it do exactly. Yeah, but in the original thing, there's a tape here. This is a thing that this was not in the original one. This is like a laser cannon that they had in the series, but this was not included in the original. So let me see, can I by default put this thing on his hands or not? You can see that there's separate different arms. So let's see, I think the default thing doesn't want to go in there. You might have to change the arm, and also of course there's a hot dog also, so he can hold a hot dog. And then one thing that's also missing is that in the original figure, yes, you can actually change it like this. Original figure, there was like this thing that you could press this lower part, and then you would see there was like this kind of like a hinge that would show the kind of like a hand cannon popping out. But this guy, he can't actually do that. He has a hidden hand cannon. But I think he's, instead of that, he's kind of like he's got more hinges. Yeah, like this, I don't remember this kind of thing. You could not, like this part here. It looks like there's just more like some kind of design in here. I don't remember in the original. Like here it's a ball movement, and let's say this hinge is only up and down, but it can also go down like this, so he can basically crack his elbow. Like usually you could go only this way, but he can go all the way here. So, but I guess let's see. So this is all around ball here. Again, it can go up and down, and I think you can also usually you can too bad that the zooming and accuracy doesn't really go well now. But you can usually pop out this kind of thing. So maybe you could combine those protos and make some kind of mutant figures. I'm gonna show you what I mean. So here you can see like the smelly elbow, and yeah, you have a separate kind of thing here. You can spin around the elbow, and then you can spin the whole elbow in itself. So you could basically make him have some kind of like somehow the armor is on the other side now. But this is a thing that you could definitely not do in the previous original one. I can remember that was just impossible. And you can see that the armor itself, or the chest plate, it's some kind of like a separate piece that it's moving around. But in the original one, I think this was just completely just part of the figure. There was no way that you could move it like this, like has this realistical movement. I think this is kind of stretchy also. So basically, it feels like it's a piece of a cloth or something like that. Yeah, it goes. It's kind of like it doesn't go exactly by the skin, but you know, there you go. There's some. Hopefully, I'm showing you something that you want to see. Like I always kind of wonder that what is this thing? Like, why is he here wearing this? It looks like some kind of. You could have those Buzz Lightyear wings on it or something. Like what is the function? I mean, why is he here wearing this thing? But it's also a nice like here you got only the skin, but then you got this kind of like a robotic elbow thing, so it looks like it fits into this robot part here. So he's the Robomodo or Robocop. And also you can see, let's see, is this six pack here, is it movable? Because it looks like it's like a separate axis, because there's like this line here, but I'm not so sure about that, so I don't want to crack his back like a chiropractor or something. But yeah, you can already see that the belt is also movable, so maybe you could pop him open from the middle also. Oh, you actually, it's kind of stiffy or stiff, but yes, you can actually move those sharp six packs in here, so he can actually do this kind of like a movement. So there's a middle of the chest movement also, so he can move around. I think it's a ball joint in the middle also, and then there's another joint in the middle, so he can do this kind of like a twist and do the punch with the movement. So yeah, and the belt is also moving around somehow. And oh, okay, so the tail is also movable, and it has a ball joint. It's slightly stretchy, so it's like a hook. Give us the hook. Yeah, it looks like I could put it on my hand like that. Let me say. The 90s Hook movie, if you can remember. Give us the hook. Okay, enough about that game now. Uh, and then there's like the butthole that you can put this on. Okay, what is this? This droplet here. I hope it's not my drool. I think it's glue. It looks like it's some kind of glue, but it could also be, you know, that like a motorcycle gear oil or something. So it kind of fits into it, even though it might be some kind of manufacture error. Yeah, so okay, so you can pull it around and stuff and move it around. I don't even remember how was the tail like in the original, but it was certainly not something that you can have a ball joint and remove. It was like some kind of stiff thing on it. Like really bad quality on something. Yeah, anyway, let's see. So you can move crack the bones and move the... Okay, so one thing that you immediately didn't have in the original is that this guy has like a double joint in the... Here. This is a double joint. This is like, so you can basically... I don't know what the difference is, but there's a bigger movement, and the elbow just looks like it's more natural. There's not like this hole, even if that really matters anything. But I think it allows you to make a bigger twist on the arm, and then it still kind of looks like, it looks better when you can like admire the epic muscles and stuff. You can lift weights like these hot dogs and stuff. Yeah, you can go to the gym and all that. It looks better if you wanna do some cool poses. And then there's another one of those useless bracelets, but maybe it's some kind of sci-fi thing that he's gonna... It's some kind of AI bracelet, or those modern things that it has those, it's tracking the heart rate and all that stuff. So maybe that's what it is, really. They're not some useless toys or something, trinkets. Yeah, and I have a feeling that you can basically pop out these limbs also. There seems to be kind of like some kind of thing like that you can do. So basically, I think that these arms, you can also roll around these things. I think in the original, so they have a ball joint, and right after the ball joint, there's like this twist joint. I think in the original, it was only like you can go up and down. I don't think you can even do this kind of thing, like spaghetti. We call it spaghetti. I don't really remember that you could do this kind of movement on it. You can spin around the legs also like this. I can't remember that kind of thing. So these two have more. They got more joints and they could do more poses. Also, he has the double joint in the legs. I think, unfortunately, on this one, the only double thing is that he can twist it backward like this. I think the original doesn't have that. It's only stuck in this regular kind of mode. So yeah, so this looks very different. This looks almost like some kind of Ninja Turtle tags. Like he looks like Raffaello or something. But now you can... I think it allows him. Yeah, it allows him to make a bigger twist on the leg. So they can do more action movements. Okay, and yeah, he can't crack the leg forward like that, but regularly, I think the original one could only do this kind of movement, but not this kind of thing. They don't have enough of that axis here. This just makes it look more natural. There are more things that you can... Let me see, by the way, is the... Yeah, the leg also has its own axis, by the way. It can go up and down. I think it has some kind of... Yeah, here you can see a little bit of it. So maybe it's something that you can actually change it to the sides also. Sides and up and down and stuff. I'm not sure if it's completely spinnable, maybe not. But maybe if you put it to them, they also sell these bikes, by the way, so you could assemble them to the bikes and then they would have more ways to move around the body, but that's about it then. So let's try to pop out the head. Oh. The head actually flew really far away, so let me also sniff the mouse a little bit. It's a sniff test. Is my mouse nostrils working correctly? It doesn't smell like the regular. I don't know what kind of material is this, but anyway, so there's just like a empty thing. It looks like modeling clay. Let's just try to put the. Let's try to put the. This looks like also like that. There's just not much else, but yeah, you can see that this dot here. It's move. You can move it separately. It's like a joystick, and then when you pop the head in, it can move around. And now you can't see the inside, so it's completely like blocked up. So in the original ones you had to have this separate helmet, and it also usually it didn't really even stay in the head, so it was kind of stupid in the design. But here you got this cool inside look that it's like completely blocked off, and it's a separate piece. And I think the form is also really good. Looks quite nice and not bad at all. So let's just pop the head in. Let's pop it to the incorrect way. I hope I don't break it. Really hope that. So maybe just put it the correct way. I think it is in it. Okay. I don't think it's that well because you can see that. I think I could put it a little bit more. You can see some kind of air in there, but basically now you can see that he basically has it on. And it almost it's popping out of it. And this neck piece, by the way, you can't move it on itself, so only this joystick. But let's try to see the happy face on it. This is kind of like a happy face. The original one is like this default. It doesn't, it has like this kind of like a surprised, but this is like a smiley face. Let's see. My camera might fall off, by the way, if I try to. It doesn't go in there. Well, now he has it anyway. So the other things that you have in the package are the hot dog. Let's see, the hot dog is it's taped. So I hope this doesn't. These small parts are almost gonna. Oh dear, how can I get it open now? Okay, now this is the thing. So he can work out his muscles with the hot dogs. Let's see. The hot dog is kind of like a. It's cool accessory. Original didn't have anything like this, by the way. But there's only just the sausage and there's nothing on it. But I guess you could eat those things that way too. Like the model doesn't have any of those fake sauce on it. Oh shit. It fell down. Oh. And there was a curse word again also. I need to if the pieces wouldn't be popping up all over the place, then I wouldn't need to curse in the videos. Sorry, but I wonder if I need to find it now before I somehow kick it under the table or something. But anyway, I'm gonna put this one here and then I'm gonna open up the next one, who is going to be the next most interesting one. So he's going to be Throttle. We call him Turbo in the Finnish version. The package is basically exactly the same, except that it has the character-based text here. It's like some kind of lore. Yeah, and also in the side, but I think that even the size of the package is exactly the same. Yeah, so let's just you can see the wear and tear that the merchant very well showed. So basically the package looks exactly as if it's a new one. No claiming about that one. So Okay, so there's something I didn't expect. I mean, there's like many of these things, these throwable things. Let's just see if it actually shoots anything. He has this kind of like a accessory that can, like, let's just open the accessory first. He has this kind of like an accessory that shoots. It has this thing that I think you can press this and then it's gonna throw the ring. So let's see, does it work? Yes, it does actually work. So you can press this down, then you put this kind of like a pizza plate on it. I think this is supposed to be, well, it looks like a wheel or whatever you call those things that you put on the wheels. I don't know what those are called, but I imagine that in some kind of turtles toys you could have pizzas like this. But yeah, I'm surprised that it's actually working. So you just put it there and then you shoot them. And I probably can't do this while I'm trying to see where the camera is aiming. Then you got some extra pairs. Yeah, and here you got the throttle or turbo. Can put a little bit of movement. And let's see one thing, by the way. Can you remove his glasses? Because in the original you certainly could not do that. So what about this one then? Yes, you can. So basically, this is definitely something that you can't do. He looks kind of derpy. But you can actually remove the glasses. So there are a separate piece. Nothing on the inside, but on the outside you got this exactly the kind of look that you have on the... He also looks really weird without the glasses because he's kind of like me. I usually wear glasses and then without the glasses I look weird. Kind of like him. It's like a separate character. Take out the glasses and he's like Superman. You can't even recognize him. It usually goes like that. Yeah. Let's see. But they are basically... They go back easily. So he has this nice hair. Modo also almost looks like he doesn't even have any hair, so he's kind of like bald. Yeah, throttle or turbo. Yeah, he has the same max movement. You can move around the head and let's see. Can you actually? You can actually move the jacket also a little bit, but I think the upper part is somehow glued, or maybe this thing is holding it. So you can move it around. Yeah, I think yes you can. But it doesn't really allow a lot of movement. But yes, I think yes, that this jacket is also like a separate thing. But it's much more tightly knit together to the character than this one. But it even looks like that though. It's covering more skin, so let me see one thing. So he has the same movement than this guy. But what about this thing? He has like a... Yeah, this thing moves. The belt moves. What about this thing? Yeah, this ammo belt moves. And this thing is definitely like a separate thing. It also moves. Yeah, so those details like that are really cool. And I think you can pop out the... or can you pop out the... By the way, I don't know that does he have a removable tail? He actually looks kind of like that. His tail cannot be moved. So they do have a different design on the accessories. So he also has like a pistol here. But the pistol looks like it's basically painted in, so you can't remove it. So he has he has laser gun like him, but he also has a extra pistol here. So he has a different kind of setup going on. And here you can see some side movement. you can kind of twist his ankle also like this. It goes pretty far away. And let's see, it goes up and down also. So they basically do that. They do the same things. Right now, I don't even know what angles or poses should I use because I'm just playing with them. I don't have any requests of what would you want them to pose like. So they also has also the middle part where those super tight six packs are popping up in there. Yes, and he can also spin from the middle. So he can do pretty much the same movement, but here you could also kind of watch out that I think if you twist this leg too many times, you might actually break this accessory because the accessory belt is basically bound to here and it moves. It basically like moves if you keep twisting this leg and doing those poses, so it might snap at some point. But these figures are usually kind of like, they're basically for adult collectors like me who kind of like, they just would buy them for like some kind of nostalgia from the 90s and stuff. So I don't think they would play with them very harshly. So, and he has that cool tattoo also, and he has actually something that you couldn't even see in the show. I think that shows that he has red eyes on that mouse logo. But I think in the show it actually didn't show red, but they actually made him have those scary looking red things on it. So he also has that same kind of like a pulse meter here. And the earring, well, it's painted so that it kind of looks like it's going somewhere, but it's not, of course. It doesn't have that floating part. That it doesn't look like there's a hole in it, but I think that would be just too much details for this kind of thing. Your jawline is here like that, so what about if I also try to pop his head? Is it gonna fly around? Just like, yeah, so let me see, is the head size different? Basically, because one funny thing is that now that you got many of these figures, you could basically make them into mutants. Like you could combine this guy. He could now he could basically play Modo. If you rip out the parts, maybe if you could rip out these things, then you could combine all the three mouses and make, like now he has basically like a Halloween costume. Yeah, I'm playing my pro dude, and you could exchange the head to the other guy also. That's one funny thing that you can play, and you can easily remove the joysticks and stuff. Let's just try to put the accessories in there. It looks basically the same. Can't see the head from the throat or something. It's like a closed off thing. It's around in there somewhere, but I'm scared to pop it in well enough. But yeah, he looks quite a nice. He looks pretty nice, even though I think that the glass on this thing is kind of like, it's a little bit rounder than it was in the show. In the show, there's this kind of like a magical angle in it, but I think it was only really there because they couldn't otherwise fit the nostril or the nose inside it. But this really looks like the nose has enough space to be in there. Like it doesn't get stuck in the glass. It's like, it's not really glass, but it's like some kind of energy field or something. But it's supposed to work like that anyway. Otherwise, it looks cool. It has this like metallic silvery thing, and black looks kind of like this same thing. And yeah, I think it moves this back thing. I think it's just pretty tightly on the back. So, and here you can see, by the way, that it says 2024 Nacelle. and nothing on the other sides. Yeah, so there's another one of those guys. Now let's put him here. And let's just open up the third one in the Trinity or whatever. He's called Vinsky. He's called this one is called Winnie the Pooh, but we call him Vinsky. So one thing that I was kind of always thinking while I was kid, I was thinking if he's called Moto Turbo, then why isn't he called Nitro or something like that? But I don't know. I guess there's no. There's the same thing. The package looks exactly the same. Otherwise, it also says it's not for kids and stuff. There's some kind of standards. HR040040 usually means not found error. But I don't really care anything about this kind of things. And it's kind of funny how it says choking hazard small part, not for children under 14. Like, do you really think that you need to be 14 to play with this without choking? That's kind of really stupid. I think there's a little bit some more different reasons why it's not for children. I mean Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles lower than 14. So it opens up the same way. There's nothing different, of course. And here you got something that I also slightly remembered. This thing was actually hidden by the package. You couldn't even see that this thing is here. But I can remember that it had this kind of thing. I'm gonna show you what I mean by that. I'm kinda pissed off by the hot dog that flew down to the floor, but I'm not gonna seek it out now because it's gonna ruin the video. And this is all random goofing around anyway. So you got this nice like imprints. So this was like some kind of weird thing. I can remember that the original also had this. And one thing that I can remember in the original is that you could actually spin this thing around, I think. And it was spinning on the axis. That's I somehow remember at least one of the models did that. But this you can't actually move it. So it's like some kind of crowbar, but for some reason it's like a weapon. Maybe this looks kind of like a, I think you call it tonfa. It's like this police officer kind of stick. Yeah, so it looks like a modified tonfa. And then he looks like he has, let's see, does this work by the way? If I press this thing, does it do anything? Yeah, yes it does actually. So he has a claw weapon also. I think this is so that she can, I'm gonna just take him out. It's weird that these guys don't have any kind of like a grip on them. Well, maybe they're just made so instantly you can see that this thing moves around really easily. So what about if I just put it other way around? Yeah. So now he basically looks like he has that bandit hood. You could put this on his head. So you can basically do this, and you could definitely not do this on the original one. But here you can basically move it. And I think you can remove it also completely from the tune if you rip out the head. So okay, so he has, okay, he didn't have actually, there was some dirt on it or something. So this guy can do the same things as those other guys can. I think the movement on the muscles and stuff, it's exactly the same on everybody, basically. Yeah, pretty much. Double joints, yeah. Move around here. Yeah, I think they do. And let's see, are these belts that he has? Yeah, they also move. They're not sculpted into the body. They move separately. On this guy, I also almost always just kind of thought that why is he wearing so little clothes? He doesn't have anything except like that thing in there. He has this Rambo thing that this reminds me of some kind of Rambo costumes. But I think in the show he can pull out these things and then there's some kind of flares or something. I have a distant memory of that kind of thing. But yeah, the belt is moving also, and he can do the same movement, and he has those 3D dots on it, on the same movement on every part. 3D dots are kind of different. I mean, he doesn't have dots, but he doesn't have any dots in here also either, but he has, so they have a little bit of different design on the clothing, which is good. Let's see. Can I pop out the tail? Yes, I can. Okay. So he has a removable tail. Let's see. Yeah, you can stretch out the muscles and they're cool. And let's see. Let's try to do a little bit of mutant fix. Let's take this guy's tail off and let's see. Are they the same size? Unfortunately, no, they're not. So basically, you can't actually. You can play two hooks. Yeah, now you can have Captain Hook in both hands. that would be really bad. You would have to just walk around with nothing but this. It would be much better if you would have hook in every finger. You would. Well, that would almost start to feel like some kind of certain horror movie character. But I was trying to think that can I like put this guy's, but no, Modo's tail is too big, so he doesn't fit into his butthole. So you can't really actually make them into total mutants, but they already are kind of mutants. But anyway, so it can remove. It can be removed though. So one thing that I was trying to I mean, let me say, can he hold the weapon in the default grip? There's like this kind of like a grip. Yes, he can. Okay, so basically he has this kind of like a weapon that I don't remember this thing in the show, but I haven't even seen all the episodes either. So maybe he does have this kind of thing. But this can be basically moved, and then he can grab someone with it, and then you also have this same accessories. You have two heads, separate arms, and then you got that pistol and hot dog are same. Everybody has those. So they have at least one weapon that they can use, but he can also use this tonfa or something. You can whoo almost fell. You can put it on his hand, and I think he can also hold it like this too. Yeah, you can somehow like you can just invent some ways to put it. And by the way, now I recognize that maybe you can put the tonfa down here also. Can you? Let's see. Basically, yes, you can, because these things are kind of like some kind of strand, like this kind of like belts or something. So basically, now he is holding this thing on his back. This could not be done in the original because these things were just completely part of the same figure in the original. They were just painted on top of his back and they were not movable, no. So these figures have a lot more details on them. So that's why I could call these things, basically call them Deluxe collector's edition things. And I also have a feeling that these figures are bigger than the original. I don't know. It's been a really long time since I hold these things in the originals in my hand, but I have a feeling that now that I got adult-sized hands, these kind of feels pretty big. So I think they were some percent smaller. Yeah. So the smaller they are the figures, the cheaper it is to just reprint them. Let's just try to see. Let's pop out the head. I'm gonna try to see. I think it can be removed. I mean, he has this joystick, and I think you can remove this thing. Oh, yeah. So now you could basically, let's see, does it say anything? It says, I think it says 3, but it doesn't really look like it. But anyway, now you could basically put this on anybody. You could put this on the I mean, this guy already has it, but it's part of the jacket. It's like it's holding the jacket on him. But basically, you could put this on the Modo, I think. Let's see. Modo wants to get a extra accessory now. Let's see, can you put it in here? Yeah, I think you can. Yeah, now it kinda is on it, but it doesn't look like it. Yeah, he looks like it has that hoodie. Let's take the head and let's put the wrong head on it. Just pop it in there. Yeah, now basically now you can already have a like a little bit of mutant made out of three brothers. This head, this tail, I mean necklace, and then this head. So you can make these mutants. Yeah, that's one good thing about this. Then you could also, if you have some other figures where you could put these heads like this, then you could basically make more mutants because you got 3 heads on every one of these things. You could basically make all of them be Winnie. I mean, everybody has the same head, all the 3 bros. Then you have like a trinity of them. Same. Everybody is like cosplaying the other characters, and then you don't know which one is which. But let's see. Let's see. This guy has the funny happy look on it. So let's put the happy look on it. Yeah, and you could actually hear the satisfying snap. So basically that means that it's in there. Yeah, no, he has the yeah. He really does look kinda. He looks more naked now that he doesn't have the tail. I mean, not tail, but what is that called? Scarf. Yeah, like he has some little clothing. But anyway, let's see, what was that? I was thinking that how many differences are there in those figures. Also, one thing that's kind of weird is that he seems to be the only one that has the tattoo, but he doesn't have anything. So, and he doesn't have either. So there is a little bit of different. I don't remember if that was in the case in the show, but maybe it was like that. I mean, the tattoo is basically this thing and stuff, but it's anyway, never mind. So he has the same axis on all of them, and now I'm gonna show you something that you might actually interest to hear is that I'm gonna take another furry figure, also furry, like these are called furries. They're this anthropomorphic. So this is a new figure that I also have. So this is basically Coco Bandicoot from Crash Bandicoot 4. So now that you got all of these guys, let's see, hopefully this doesn't fall to the ground. I'm gonna just, give him his, he can actually, it's removable, so he can even hold it on his ab. So he has like the super duper thing on it. Yeah. So now you can like put that head on this guy, and it doesn't want to go in there, but you can basically see that these are basically lore sized. In the show, the Modo is basically the biggest or tallest one. So you can also see that in these figures, they basically have the same scale. Like he's clearly the biggest one. They're side by side. So yeah, so they're kind of like the same size that they are in the show. So I think the Winnie is the smallest one. Winnie seems to be also the smallest figure. So they're basically the same size that they are in the show. Now that I put them all side by side, I think the package size is the same. But then he has least accessories, but then he's the biggest one, so they gonna match up the amount of plastic that you need for each figure. Kinda sucks that you can't have anything coming out of this hand thing here, but I guess you can't win every time. So I mean, the original Canon thing, pop-up thing, it looked kind of stupid. Also, it was kind of, well, I guess the more details you can have, the better. But anyway, so this kind of feels like it's some kind of full resistor of them. It's kind of like the same. This is kind of like the size scaling, and I'm gonna take out the measuring tape. So now this basically shows centimeters and inches. So this is basically 30 centimeters. So Modo is basically about like, is that 19.5 centimeters or something? Then he's like almost 8 centimeters wide on the widest part. And then this guy is like, now even the feet are not correct, but he's clearly like not even 17, I think. It's kind of like 7 centimeters. I know this is not really professional measuring, but I'm just kind of getting a little bit of heads up. He's kind of like 17.5 or something. And this is really bad measuring, by the way. Well, anyway, you can see from this that they do look different in the size. Even on this film right now, you can see that these guys are not the same size. And this thing is like, I might do or show an unboxing video of these crash figures also at some point, but I'm not so sure about that. Because this is not really an unboxing channel. This is kind of like 12, and the widest part is actually the head, which is like 4.54, so 5 or something. So this is basically their little sister, Bioshock style, and they somehow fit together, even though they have a ridiculous scaling on the body. The head is way too big, for example. But these guys just look pretty good. They look pretty optimal, not too stupid. And then let's take three, these and three others. Here you got Woody, which is like a meme figure that you might know from certain places, with that cool look on his. You can actually change those eye positions to make him look as stupid as possible. So Woody figure is compared to, let's just put this guy straight up, and Woody figure is basically about this kind of size compared to him. He looks kind of like he's some kind of friend of his. You got a friend in me, yeah. So he could fit into the clan. He's like the dude that's always on something. But yeah, so let's put him standing in here. You can see that they're kind of standing on the same line now. So he's clearly smaller. He's even smaller than. Was this guy? I think he was a Revoltech figure. So he has the Revoltech scaling. So yeah, he's smaller than Winnie the Pooh. So let's also show another figure that I would want to see. So this is part of the things that I would like to do. I would like to make my own custom figures. So this is a Figma. Figma is another scaling of figures. So this is a Figma figure that you could basically pose, and you could build your own stuff, paint and sculpt stuff on it to make a customized figure, or you could use it for some kind of drawing model or something. So let's just take the Figma figure. I would like to make customized figures based on something like this. Maybe if you don't want to make your own wire model or something, then you could use this kind of thing on the format, on the base, I mean, of the figure. So let's just take this out, and I'm gonna show you something that's somehow related to this video. There's something like this. So what does this mean? It has that Japanese Figma archetype. Anyway, I have two different types of these things. The thing in the Figma figures is usually that you have this kind of like a posting on them. These guys, they can't use them because they don't have any. You can usually put on the Figma figures, you can put the pose on the back or something. But these don't have it because they're just completely different kind of figures. The figures, these are Nacelle figures. This is probably, yeah, I think this was Revoltech, and this is Figma, and these are Nacelle, so they're different. All the figure companies basically have their own thing. But here you can basically, I somehow can't move the head correctly. It was in the wrong place somehow. But basically, one figure thing that I was trying to, they got like dude and they got a girl and male type of figures like this at least. Maybe there's more of them too nowadays. But basically the Figma figures are actually kind of small. Like this looks like some kind of kid almost, even though it has booba. But Figma compared to this thing, yeah, well, I guess it depends how you look at it. But they've got different figures now. I'm just showing these for the size comparison. And then I'm going to show you something a little bit what I has to do with my channel. One reason why I'm showing figures on this channel is that I would like to design figures and somehow produce them. So this is for example, this is modeling clay that you could burn on regular oven. So that's not really recommended unless you wanna have a different oven for food, because this is gonna create some kind of like most likely harmful some kind of smoke or something. So you should have a basically anyway regular oven can be used for these things to harden them into this kind of like a stone form spell in RPG terms. Anyway, I got this for €1. Usually these go for like a lot more. I got it from the local recycling center that I usually go to touring. Yeah. So this video is gonna be quite long now, but anyway, it's gonna be that this one. Anyway, I was about to say that I would like to use this kind of stuff to build some parts and then put the parts on something like this. Maybe this or some kind of wireframe model that has kind of like the same scaling on the limbs and stuff. Then you put this kind of stuff on these, and then you can make custom prototype figures. But of course, if you would want to use these prototype figures to create some figures that look as good as this, then that would be almost basically impossible, because these kind of things compared to this junk, then they are basically impossible to make by hand. They need to be produced by some kind of toy factory. These look like these professional figures. But anyway, that's just one thing that I would like to. I was thinking that I would like to make some figures out of certain video games also, and also my own designs. So I am basically something that you could call a furry in real life. Even my avatar image in the YouTube page is a furry character, but it's like black and white sample. It's one of my own ideas for characters, and those characters are slightly inspired by these guys, because these are like furry characters, but they look good. They're like really like masculine and cool. So and they're also they look kind of like manly enough manly enough and they got clothes on. That's one thing that I would like to also have. My butthole agrees on the background. He said, yes, yes, kind of like that, you know, that meme. But anyway, what was I saying? Yeah, I would like to make those furry characters on my ideas to become reality at some point. So that's one reason why I'm showing this and telling this stuff. If somebody has to actually know that or they want to know that. So this doesn't really want to stay on it. But anyway, I think I yapped already enough about it. So I'm gonna just show you a little bit more. So yeah, I was about to say that this video is also kind of like some kind of yeah, my butt really wants to take a you know, part in the chat. Yeah, it seems like that. Okay, so anyway, so yeah, I've been touring on the recycling centers and what are those other words called? We call it Järjestyskeskus, and the other place is called I can't remember what it's called. I have this empty brain fart on my head, so I can't remember. But anyway, one thing that I bought is also related to these things. These are called Go-Go's or Gogos, Crazy Bones. These are toys that we had on the 90s. 90s they had this kind of like a collectible things that they were saying, or they were selling these on kiosks and stuff like that. So you can basically, these are like these colored figures. They're almost like some kind of Pokemon type of thing. You had like, I think you had like maybe hundreds of different kind of these things. And then you could basically play a game on them. I don't remember how the game was going, but here you can say recycling center, kierrätyskeskus. But this is something that I had, my little brother at least had some of these on the ages ago. But I had to get a bunch of these from, that's the price of these things. So basically, they got different colors on them, and then they basically have this kind of like you need to throw them, and then you got, they're based on some ancient, easy, noobie boopy game that you just kind of, it's basically a lot of RNG. But anyway, the reason why I would buy this kind of stuff is that I hadn't stored any of the stuff. I don't think I ever even had this, but I remember other people who had this stuff. So I would like to also somehow maybe make my own ideas for these figures to be something like this also. Maybe you could also, you couldn't really use this kind of figures to play a game like this, but anyway, or maybe you could actually. I mean, you could always invent games. You could use these heads as separate Go-Go's. Then you could have a bunch of heads that you could spin around and play like play like that game. That you could have separate heads rolling around in there, kind of like in some kind of like that what that bad guy would do in Toy Story. Yeah, but anyway, there's many ways that you can use these things. It's a nice little collection. And then let me show you also some more reasons. Yeah, well, here's a little bit of something that's related to the Crash Bandicoot. This is the Crash Bandicoot water. You can spin this. This is from Crash Bandicoot 2. And you can also, I also tested this on my bathtub that this actually does float. So you could basically use this toy. So bad thing is that it's from a different, if you use Coco on it, so Coco kind of feels like, Coco is originally from the same game, but you could never actually play as her on the board. But she kind of looks like she's a little bit too small for this thing. But anyway, sometimes you can combine different toy sets with other toys. He looks kind of like, well, I guess he could be the correct size for this thing. It also looks pretty big on the looks pretty big on the game itself. So the one thing that I was almost also about to, let's see, is it? Oh yeah. I got more, also got more Polly pockets recently. I got like one Polly pocket set that I got is this. I'm gonna hide the pricing. I got this Polly pocket set. It's a Monster High. I'm a kind of fan of that series also. I like monsters characters, kind of like the guys in medieval and stuff. And this is basically Polly pocket Monster High set. There's the shows kind of like what's inside, but I have not made any unboxing videos about those either because I thought that I'm trying to film this stuff while I'm talking. Sorry, this camera is most likely not really showing enough light anyway and stuff. So I'm trying to figure out that what did I have to say. But anyway, yeah, this thing here. This is basically the same table that I'm using for all kind of junk. This package down here is basically hiding. There's like Pokemon truck packages here and stuff. But this is another package here. So let me show you. This is a package that has a lot of expensive stuff in here. Here you got FimoClay. This is basically you can bake this in the regular oven, and this is the kind of stuff that you could basically make figures out of. Here's a little bit of sample that I've tried to make. It's kind of like a sketch of one of those duck trio or or dicklet or what are those called. Different colors so that you can have, this has an effect on it that it kind of looks like sparkly if you, as it's some kind of like a, metallic sparkle or this kind of like a glowy effect on it. You got different kind of things like this, like glitter or whatever it's called. And this is a different also. It's kind of like softer, but it doesn't have a glitter on it. So unfortunately, basically you could make some kind of primitive figures or figure sketches out of these things. But unfortunately, if you try to hand make stuff out of this, it's really impossible to make any kind of sharp stuff like this. You could basically you would have to use these. These are really, this stuff is really to make some really primitive looking stuff. Unfortunately, it's really hard to make any complicated figures, and now it's all over the place again. Basically, I have them stored here anyway for that reason. And here's also, by the way, I got more of that Fimo for €1, and this is Tidler. They're basically the same kind of stuff, but they're gonna they had yeah, I think the soft and glitter and blah blah blah. It doesn't really mean much. They're basically made for the same things. Anyway, so what I tried to really show is here is that I'm gonna upload this to my YouTube, and let me also show you one thing. This is another miniature figure that's kind of inspired me. It's basically from recycling center. It's a broken down playset. It has this kind of like things that you can pop out the thing out of here, and it looks like some kind of dinosaur land, some kind of Jurassic Park inspired stuff. It's basically missing most of the parts, but I got it from recycling center also. Here you can click the switch and then you can drop down stuff from here. You can clearly see that there's stuff missing. There's like some kind of supposed to be stuff on these dots also. But anyway, this is about the same scale as Polly Pocket figures. So you could basically play with Polly Pockets figures on this kind of things. So I usually go go and check out those places if they have that interesting toy stuff here. I think there's a lot of dust also here. So anyway, I was about to say that I'm gonna put this on my channel, but also I wish that I could put my channel. Now it has at least 4 different playlists. So these are gonna go to the most likely to the chart or art playlist. I wish I could make on the channel so that if somebody wants to get an info like pop-up about new video, then I could make it by a playlist so that only the certain playlist would get notification. But unfortunately I have to put some more gameplay videos to the channel, and that's most likely not what people wanna see in there. So sorry if you're gonna get some spam videos in there. But if you really wanna see some gameplay videos, then I'm gonna put them in there too. So my channel is unfortunately kinda like this mixed up, maybe you could say salad kind of channel, that it's gonna have a lot of different things in there. Yeah, my idea is that it doesn't have a separate, theme, the channel. Let's put this. And unfortunately, I can't really please everybody in there. So I'm gonna put a lot of different kind of things in there. And right now he's carrying him because he got some kind of seizure by the looks of it. I'm gonna put I took a long break from again, and I didn't put anything on the channel because I really didn't know that what should I put in there that would make any kind of sense. So now that I bought this kind of like a super duper deluxe figures from America, then I think I thought that I would have to make a little bit of channel update if somebody actually wants to look at this. And I think I already said enough now. So I'm gonna not take this to be like 2 hours or something. So anyway, yeah, I guess this is everything that I said now. So I wish I could do that notification pop up only for certain videos, but I can't. So sorry. And this channel doesn't have just one theme, but it's mostly based on something that I would like to make. I would like to design my own figures. And I'm trying to apply to a certain course where I'm trying to learn 3D modeling so that maybe I could use it to sculpt prototypes of my own figure ideas and some fan art figures like Gex and Gex the Gecko. I have ideas for that kind of thing also. And what else did I have? Well, I guess I don't really know anything more right now, so more to say, So anyway, thanks for watching and stay tuned for more. And I have no idea when that's gonna be. But anyway, enough about that for now, I guess. So peace out and see you later. Thanks.